Greetings. Today I'd like to share with you different things about communication. We'll start with the types of communications and styles. We'll look at some assessments, and then we'll learn how you can learn more about communication styles. I recently read an article on the 4 types of communication styles in a Leadership IQ newsletter. It made me think about my style and when it was brought to my attention that I even had a style. One really isn't aware of their style until something goes awry. For example, when there's a miscommunication that needs ironed out. In college, I remember hearing of assessments that one could take through a battery of questions that analyze your scores. It looks at your approach to problems and how you react to challenges and the best way to communicate based on those scores. 3 of my favorite assessments are the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. It was launched in the 1960s, widely used across the world. It divides everyone into one of 16 different personality tests, like extrovert versus introvert, sensing versus intuition, thinking versus feeling, judging versus perceiving. Then there's the DISC that looks at dominance, influence, steadiness, and compliance. And just another way to look at how you communicate. Then there's the 360-degree feedback, where you ask colleagues for their honest assessment on how you lead and communicate. Then you are given an analysis of recurring trends linked to your style. Now, if this subject is interesting to you and you want to learn more about communication styles, just enter types of leadership assessments on the web and a plethora of options will appear. I encourage you to try the free options first, just to test the water. Now, getting back to that initial Leadership IQ newsletter that I mentioned, they discussed the 4 types of communication styles. Here's a quick overview of those 4 styles. Intuitive communication, analytical communication, functional communicators, and then personal communicators. One major philosophical difference that really separates the 4 communication styles is the intent to which you communicate with emotions or data. For example, I've lost some weight and I feel great, or I've lost 10% of my weight this year. Another major philosophical difference is the extent to which you communicate in a linear way. Like when I opened this segment, I shared with you the flow, 1, 2, 3. Or I just could have jumped in a free-form way and skipped over most of the details right to the end. Remember that no one communication style is inherently better than another. The key to effective communication is using the verbal communication style that best ensures your message will be heard. Happy communicating with intention.